gentlemen, welcome to Motorhomes with American Tom. I'm Tom, and this is the all-new 2024 Fleetwood Bounder 35K. This is the best-selling Bounder floor plan with some really awesome feature updates going into the 2024 model year. Let's take a look. This is the 2024 Fleetwood Bounder 35K. As you can see here, it has this beautiful paint job. It's the first thing you see. This is the armor exterior graphic, which I think looks great. It's got some modern designs to it instead of the swirls you've seen in a lot of RVs from years past. Let's take a look at the best-selling Fleetwood Bounder motorhome, the 35K bath and a half floor plan. Now, the first thing I want to start with talking about the Bounder is that this has an upgraded Ford chassis. A lot of brands out there will just take a normal F53 Ford motorhome chassis on a smaller chassis, like a 16, 18, 20,500. This is on the bigger 22,000 pound chassis with some awesome updates that Fleetwood brings to the table. The first one being that this 22,000 pound chassis has the all aluminum wheels, 22.5 inches, more rubber on the road, more stability. There's a few other things that make this really unique. The Power Platform custom chassis that Fleetwood brings to the table here. You know, what most motorhome brands are doing is they're taking that normal F53 chassis, putting the outriggers on, subfloor, walls, roof, and that's basically your construction practice here. That Power Platform is custom welded and molded to fit this floor plan exactly. It's dropped down on this big crane and then bolted into the chassis to add some extra strength and rigidity to keep it from twisting, but it also gives some customization to that chassis to allow for bigger holding tanks and some really nice upgraded features. So it's both a strength feature as well as a functionality feature that I think makes a big difference. Also, let's talk about some of the upgrades that are on this chassis. The first thing that you see on this all-new 2024 chassis is the upgraded driver assistance package through Ford. Now, we're going to show you a little bit more of this when we get inside, but this is going to give you anti-skid braking system, active braking, distance warning, lane departure tracking, adaptive cruise control, all the tech features that modern vehicles have. So it's a really nice part that makes this driver experience for this motorhome very automotive. Let's take a look as we move on here. First thing you see, of course, we talked about those big wheels and tires. You've got the chrome package on your mirrors here, which looks really nice. Front entry door, which makes it just a little easier as far as accessibility goes. It's also a very large door. You know, this is 30 inches wide, so it's a little more comfortable to step in and out of the vehicle. You can see you have a very long awning here too, which is really cool. The outside entertainment package that you have here, it's really nice too. This is a smart TV. You've got a big Bluetooth speaker built in right there. You even have a nice door for this. It's not one of those really cheap doors that you see on some of them. It's a strong aluminum door, painted just like everything else. But I like the placement here too, up in the front of the vehicle. Yeah, open some of these up. Now this front bay is just gonna have your inverter package, battery control center, and a little bit of storage. As you move back to right here, this is gonna be one of your pass-through bays. Now, a lot of brands are just going to have a plastic bay built in. You can see here that you have extra height in your pass-through storage, and then you have a custom-formed roto-cast bay in there too. So this stuff is really strong. You can spray it clean. It has some added insulation to it. Speaking of insulation, look at this door. You know, this is a big diesel pusher door. It's an aluminum door with added insulation to it, and it's just very smooth. Side opening, not one of those small, rounded, kind of plastic doors, so definitely an upgrade there, both in looks and in function. Right here, this is a tankless hot water heater. So that's a feature they added, I think, what, 2-3 years ago? Either way, it's a nice feature, gives you unlimited hot water, and pairing with the water miser feature that this has, very efficient, so you're not wasting any of that as well. Moving on to the back here, this is going to be a huge propane tank, 25 gallons. Mounted up inside of the bay here with this same insulation you have on the rest of the doors, but just a huge tank. You're not going to have to fill this thing up very often at all. In your last two bays here, first you see the hydraulic reservoir for your leveling system, and then two pass-through bays. Well, this one goes about 3/4, and then on your last bay here, that's another pass-through. So that's 3 full pass-throughs with the extra height inside. Tons and tons of storage and plenty of cargo space on this bigger chassis you have here. So definitely a nice setup there. Moving on to the back right here, Nice molded fiberglass back cap. I like the Bounder logo you have right there with this little piece right there. Everything looks really nice. Pairing with the new design on the front cap, I think it just gives it a very strong, good look. Also right here, you've got a Class 3 hitch, tows 8,000 pounds, 7-way plug built in right there so you can get your brakes to work on a certain type of vehicle. So right here you have your automatic transfer switch, but you also have a power electric reel. Very convenient to use one of these as opposed to just rolling it up in a bay. Saves you a ton of storage and is definitely a nice convenience to have. Also, look how smooth these doors close. This is a 5,500 watt Cummins Onan diesel generator. This will run both ACs and everything else you have inside the vehicle. So very convenient right there. So this is your wet bay, your service bay for the plumbing system and water features that you have built into the motorhome. This has 100 gallons of fresh water. 58 in the gray tank, 42 for your sewer tank. So as part of that power platform chassis, you're given some extra space to have bigger tanks. Now these are going to be your custom molded tanks that Fleetwood uses on pretty much everything. So they're tilted, turned in the right direction, and they're just going to be easier to operate. Whole house water filter. You have your sewer line up inside of your rotocast bay here, so it's really easy to work with. Black tank flush, receptacles outside, outside shower with hot and cold. Low point drains right here. Just everything's very easy to get to. Moving on right here. Also, something else worth mentioning while we're right here at this bay, there's no slide right here. So this is exactly how it's going to be to set things up. Really easy operation as far as setting your RV up when you go somewhere. A little bit extra storage right here, and then you're moving on to your pass-through storage bays that you have right here. Tons of storage accessible from both sides pretty easily, so we definitely like that. Now this one, it's a good bit of storage right here, but this is your freshwater tank, 100 gallons. Really easy drain right there if you want to drain that tank out for any reason. Your last bay here, just another storage bay. Directly adjacent from this on the other side, you have your steps to walk into the motorhome, so you can't really get the full pass through here, just about 3/4, but altogether tons and tons of storage outside. Also, I want to point out here that you have a built-in slide topper awning already on the motorhome. This is a Fleetwood Bounder. It's going to come with all of those upgraded features. Up on the roof, where we can't really see it here, you're going to have that's three vent covers, one for each of your vents, 2 in the bathroom, 1 in the kitchen, a 300-watt solar panel, both ACs, your upgraded Wi-Fi package. It's a WineGuard Connect 2.0 system, and I think that's it. This is a potable water fill for your freshwater tank, but it's mounted up a little higher, so it's really easy to fill that up. Now, while we're right here, point this out too. This is going to be a side camera. This has a backup camera and 2 side cameras, so anytime you turn your blinker on, it's going to show you what's right next to you. I want to show you a little bit more about that package once we get inside. But while we're here, let's take a look at this all new front cap. Definitely has a more modern look. It has a couple LED lights that are built in right here up at the top and at the bottom, but a very strong, very modern look if you ask me. If you look at this, then you look at one of the 2023 models, I mean, it's just completely different, so we definitely like that. Let's take a look inside and see what we're working with there. Built-in screen door here, which controls your step as well, and then magnetically holds it in place. I mean, right as you walk in here, you can see there's a difference in quality. Now, we just got this from the factory, so we still have plastic on things, the seats and everything else, but you can see the quality in your woodwork, Corian countertops, really nice furniture here, and plenty of space to use everything with the slides closed up. You know, you can use the whole fridge, you can use the whole kitchen here. Everything's very accessible. Little squeeze right here, but you can still get to the bathroom in the middle of the RV without a hitch. Let's get this thing opened up. All right, now we got this thing opened up, you can see you got a ton of space in here. You know, sometimes you see an RV that has almost smaller slides up front, but this slide is huge, and by not being a full wall, they're allowed to get a little bit more depth to it, so it really opens up this living area here. One thing I've always liked about this floor plan as well, before we get too into it, is that None of your functional components as far as the plumbing system goes, propane systems, are in the slide. It's really just your furniture and some cabinetry, so I think that's a reliability issue that over time makes a big difference. All right, so the first thing I want to do before we really dive in here is give a big special thanks to our guest. Tucker's back.
Back again, glad to be here.
All right, so Tucker sells RVs with us here at the store. Great wealth of knowledge, wonderful expertise and experience as far as all this stuff goes. If you'd like to get a hold of him, number's right here on the screen. As always, I like to start up front and show you some of the really cool features of this new dash system and new tech features that you have through Fleetwood and then Ford's advanced driver package system. Again, this thing's brand new. I'm taking the plastic off the seats right now. This is an all-new design for the front dash. You know, you used to have this screen kind of in the middle, and it wasn't as well laid out as what you see here. Let's get this thing brought back a little bit. But part of this advanced driver package that you have is built into that box that you see up front. That has some cameras and sensors built into it that operate the controls for your adaptive cruise control, collision mitigation, active braking system. The anti-skid's built into the chassis here. But everything in this dash is very well laid out. By moving this closer, you have access to see your Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, your navigation, everything that you have right here is very easy to get to as far as its use. You've got a wireless controller right there, a separate screen. So this is something Fleetwood's been doing for a long time. But by having dual screens, it allows you to see your cameras and your navigation at the same time. So you don't have to choose which of those is more important to you as you're driving. Okay, let's get this closed up. We're just cleaning this thing off as we got here. Really nice upgraded steering wheel. Now that was part of the upgrade where they went to the 7.3 liter V8. I believe that was in 2020. But this 7.3 liter V8 has got plenty of power. You can tow those 8,000 pounds we talked about, 468 foot-pounds of torque, 335 for the horsepower. Moving left to right here, you do have your automatic leveling system controls. So on auto, right when you get there, very easy to set that up. You have heated power mirrors, controls there. You also have controls for your shades, which are really easy to operate. And that's both a day and a night shade. Same thing on the side over here. Now, your dash has been completely redesigned as part of this advanced driver package. So you have all this digital information as far as your trip, what's going on with your safety features. Of course, you have your RPMs, your MPH right there, and then controls on your steering wheel that make this really easy to operate. Traction control, of course, you got your hazard lights. You can turn your lane departure system on and off right there for the lane keeping. But altogether, very comfortable. Another thing I like about this new chassis with the 7.3 V8 is it moves the engine down 11 inches as it would compare to the old V10, which allows you to have a better, what we call a doghouse up here. Just sits down lower to the ground, but also it has a straight drive shaft instead of having a CV axle. What that does for you is it keeps the vibration out of the use of the motorhome. So it's a quieter, less shaky ride as it would compare to the old V10. I think that's a huge upgrade. You have your plug-ins right there for power and also to hook up your system there. See how do you get this thing out? There you go. Little extra storage box that hides in right there. Also on your passenger side here, I'd like to show you, you got this little computer station. Outlets down here on the sides, power, of course control your AC system, and of course you got these old school fans right here too. That's just pretty cool. Also right here in the dash, you got your drop down bed. So this bed is going to drop down to about right here, really easy to climb up into it. Hides really well, but when it comes down it's got this memory foam mattress in it that I think is pretty nice. You know what? Really smooth in how that operates. It's not like one of those Schwintex or systems that really cranks down nice and slow. You've got this piece built in underneath this piece right here. You also have some of those slatted pieces to add some extra cushion to it. But really easy to use. You got the front TV, extra storage on both sides and in the front. And then when you need to bring this thing up and out of the way, very simple to do. Alright, so moving into the main part of the RV here, we're going to start on the driver's side of the vehicle. Of course, it starts with some storage. Really nice pull-out drawers, very deep pantry that you have right here, and being in the front of the RV, definitely a nice upgrade. I would like to say that this heritage painted wood is very smooth. It kind of has these rounded edges on the side that make it feel a little bit more flat panel, modern in how its use is. The dark fixtures that you have on there too are just really smooth, and it has a good contrast with the package that you have as far as the decor goes. Lots of storage up top here that goes all the way down the side of the vehicle, or the slide right there. And inside of these bays, this is all solid wood too, very sturdy, nice fixtures built in there. You have that ozite lining in the cabinets, so it makes things really quiet, you know, where things aren't shaking around and making noise for you, and actually gives a little bit better surface to hold things in place. So definitely a nice upgrade there. The dinette that they use with the Apex furniture you have here is really, really nice. You know, it's not one of those ones where you got the cushions that sit down in an uncomfortable way. These kind of push down a little bit easier, and they lay flat just like that. So really easy to set up when you need it to, and just altogether a very high quality material. You know, this is all marine grade upholstery. Really holds up over time. We even built in some nice storage underneath both your cabinets there too. Your kitchen over here on the passenger side of the vehicle is really nice as well. Like I said before, there's no moving parts in this kitchen, so it's going to be something that is always going to be easy to maintain, and service-wise, just in a much better place. Good storage up top with adjustable cabinets in there too. Nice big convection microwave, some storage up top there too. 3-burner stove with this nice cover piece to it, so you have extra counter space when you need it. And then this huge French door refrigerator. Really great space in there, Samsung brand. And then a big pull-out drawer with an ice maker built into it as well. So that's pretty cool. Back to the driver's side over here, you've got this nice Apex electric theater seating. So lays pretty flat. You have a built-in light, USB outlets on both sides, storage on the inside of it, directly across from your TV and your Bluetooth speaker right there. Also, if you look right here, you have a built-in fireplace. So that has the multicolored flames, ember bed at the bottom, LED lights, and it actually produces heat, so that works really well if it's kind of cold but not really cold. Of course, you do have the built-in heater up in the AC as well as your furnaces if you need to use those, but this works in some light place there. I also like the little stone decor they have built in behind it. Moving on to the back, I do want to show you got an extra space here. Every little bit of storage counts in a vehicle like this, so definitely a nice thing to have, especially right there next to this. I mean, of course, you can put some decor or some other storage in there. Here's your half bath, and this is a huge half bath. You know, as you come in here, lots of counter space, nice sink, really good space in here. But for a half bath, I mean, this is really nice. Good storage over on this side too. Plenty of elbow room here, so this is definitely a higher quality bathroom setup. We like it. Moving back into the bedroom. Also, let me show you this. Really nice wood door right here. Not one of those accordions or anything like that. Okay. King size bed. Storage underneath the bed. Huge storage underneath the bed. There's your little table for up front when those chairs turn around. You've got USB outlets and GFI outlets on both sides. Really good storage over here above the bed. And then you got the little CPAP hideaway right there too, with a power outlet behind it. So if you have a CPAP machine, this is all set up and ready to go for that. Windows on both sides. Really nice headboard right there. Something else that's good about this is that you don't have to close this up or fold the bed. When the slide comes in, it kind of goes underneath your storage over here on the driver's side. And there is really good storage here. You've got this big hanging closet. I'll step in here, Tom. With some cedar lining in there. You've got lots and lots of drawers underneath. Some storage right there. Good pull-outs built in. Nice little place to set things down right there. Hidden storage behind your smart TV here in the bedroom. And then this closet right here, we can put a washer dryer in here. So we usually do that here at the dealership. We could order these with the washer dryer in there, but it costs us the same to do it here or at the manufacturer. So we just decided to let people decide if they want it or not. Good storage back here as well. Moving into your rear bath, that's one of the best things about these bath and a half layouts is that you get a much bigger bathroom in the far part of the master suite. Huge fiberglass shower with the seat built in. Nice fixtures as well. But a really nice shower, a lot better than you see in a mid-bath. Extra storage back here, lots and lots of drawers. Wonderful set of vanity space right here, and then a lot of extra space up top. So really nice rear bath. Definitely a layout that somebody could use for full timing while staying into a shorter 35-foot motorhome. And then of course right here, plenty of space, little elbow room right here. Altogether, really nice setup. So now that we've seen the RV, we're going to talk a little bit about what we like and dislike about it, who we think works best for a motorhome like this. Tucker, what do you think?
I would say the few things that I like about this motorhome.
Well, before we get into what we like, let's talk a little bit about what kind of RVer would be interested in an RV like this.
I would say an RVer that's maybe going for some extended stays, potentially, you know, possibly being out on the road for several weeks to several months at a time. Don't necessarily want to step into the area of the diesel pusher yet. This motorhome gives you a lot of great features that you see that's comparable to a diesel pusher.
That's a good point. You know, I want to say that I've seen a lot of folks who are looking at your smaller diesels, like maybe they want to be 35 foot or less, and then you compare this, which is going to be priced well under 200, a good bit, especially with the pricing we have on these, versus, you know, something that might be $250,000, $300,000. You're getting a brand new vehicle with brand new warranties. The Ford upgrades that we see as part of that advanced driver package have really changed the game as part of how these Fords operate. You can still tow 8,000 pounds. So if you're just going to tow a little car, little trailer, you have all the power you need to do so, and you even have upgraded safety features that are more automotive as it would compare to those smaller diesels that don't have adaptive cruise control, active braking, and the tech features that you have built up front. As far as other features go, this has everything the diesels do. It even has the bigger doors on the outside, the bigger holding tanks. Why spend the extra 50%, and it's really an extra 50%, to get into those entry-level diesels that even lack some of the features you have here. So definitely, I've seen a lot more folks come down from looking at short diesels into a vehicle like this that gives you everything you need and more. Another thing to look at here, if you are considering that gas or diesel standpoint, let's make things apples to apples as far as the cost goes, right? So for the same cost of a vehicle like this, you would look at a comparable diesel that's 3-4 years old, maybe even older than that if you look at something that's higher end. So that's definitely something worth weighing out, apples to apples, as far as the cost goes. But moving on from here, Tug, let's talk about the things we like now.
Okay, so I'd say some things that I like in the Bounder would be the cabinets up top. If you notice, when it comes to the designated areas, there is no divider in the middle. So it is really nice to have an open layout back there. So if you wanted to put something in there possibly a little bit bigger, it would be beneficial for that. I love the Tarkett tiling that's in the floors in this too as well. It's actually a composite flooring. It's thicker than that linoleum. You actually get an additional set with it too as well. So if one actually happens to crack or break, they'll be able to replace it for you. Better with the noise, better on the insulation too as well.
And those are individually laid too, aren't they?
Yes, they are. And then negatives, I would say, on this layout. On the outside, I didn't like where the propane quick connect was, because it is underneath the awning. I think it'd be a little bit better if they could actually tuck it towards the rear area. Possibly going with a stackable washer dryer, but it would affect the layout of the slide out, so I think I'd actually go with the slide out instead. That's pretty much it I could think of on the negative side.
You know, those are some really good ones. That propane setup, I mean, being under the awning doesn't make a whole lot of sense. You either have to carry a really long, quick connect cable, but at the same time, we can move that. You know, in the shop, we can always move it to the back. Definitely, I like what you said about the cabinets too. One thing I would have to say I like about this vehicle, technology. You have the Alumaplex multiplex wiring system, which is really easy to use. You can do it from your cell phone, and controls everything in the vehicle, each with their own little breaker. So that's more of a service standpoint thing, but also functionality. I think the tech there is great. And in the chassis, with everything you have built into that, with the adaptive cruise control, collision mitigation, active braking, those features are wonderful to have. So the technology here is spectacular. I'd also have to say that I like the custom chassis upfit that they do here. So many gas motorhomes out there, and most of them are just taking the base chassis and doing nothing to it. By having the power platform and adding the extra space for more storage, bigger holding tanks, and then just an extra bit of strength to it, you see that so often in the diesel pushers, where they add strength and stability to the chassis, whether it's an X-brace or a modular chassis, Star Foundation, whatever it is. This is one of the only gas motorhomes that takes that extra step to add to the ride quality. So I think that's a huge upgrade as far as that goes. So technology, the chassis upfit. Then I got to go with GAWR. Very modern, very sleek in how it is. There's a lot of brands out there in the same category even, where these are a little bit more busy, kind of ornate in how the wood is put together. This is very sleek, a little bit more of a flat panel design to it, so I feel like it has a very modern feel. Also, your Apex furniture is the best stuff out there, so shout out to those guys who always do such a great job. I have to say that would be another upgrade. Okay, so we have the GAWR, the tech, chassis. Things I dislike about this motorhome. I got to agree with you on the stackable washer dryer. If we could find a way to have that, that is one of the only things in this motorhome from a function standpoint that I think could be a little bit better. Also, I have to say that bedroom storage. There's tons of storage as far as the drawers goes, but there's not a separate his and hers closet like you see in a lot of different other brands. So you got one big wide closet, but it's a closet you got to share. So I think that if there was a separation to that, or maybe an extension to it, that could be an upgrade. Of course, that's all preference based. Then another dislike. What do we got here? Oh, one more dislike I have. When this is closed up and we walked through to the back, there's a little space right here. Now, if you get this with just a straight couch and not the theater seating upgrade, you have more space. It's like this big. But if you go to this upgraded theater seating, it's big, it's comfortable, it has great features to it, but it gives you a very small space to get to the back. I had to go like this to get through it. So that, I think, if this was just a little bit in this way or pushed back just a hair, could add a little bit to it, but that I would say is one of the things that I dislike about the motor. All right, so now for the fun part. This RV has an MSRP of $267,331, which if you give 25% off of that, I'm doing this in my head right now. That's what, 10%, 26 of 50, $70,000. Your 25% off of that is going to be in the range of the 180s. Of course, we're going to do great deals on these. We already have access to the show pricing that we're going to have up in Hershey here at the Tampa show on the 24s. So I can definitely see there being an upgrade to that. Stay tuned or ask about that after we get up to Hershey, and I'll tell you what the pricing is going to be there. But we are Fleetwood's biggest dealer. We're going to have huge discounts on these. It being a 24, we can only do 25% off as far as how we advertise it with Maps pricing right now. But we're going to do a lot better than that, especially this time of year when we're buying so many of them. To prepare for these shows, you know, we're buying these 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 at a time to have our inventory strong all year long. So as many as we buy and the discounts we get for that bulk purchasing, we can do great deals on these. If you have trades, if you have questions, give me or Tucker a call. We're always happy to help you out. I want to say thanks again for checking out the video. If you have questions, comments, put them right down there, and we're happy to answer them any chance we get. Thanks again for watching. And Tucker, is there anything else you'd like to say before we let the folks go?
Thanks for having us. Enjoy seeing you guys some more. Thanks.